So, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where after our slight hiatus last week due to a lack of personnel, we're
Boredom.
back. So we'll give you all of our predictions from the Spa Grand Prix and our results of that, and all of the action in between. And then to round things off, we'll give you our predictions ahead of the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend. But Ben, let's start with how did you think? What did you think of the Belgian Grand Prix?
But I thought I'm glad that the 2021 race didn't happen because fuck me, that was not worth it.
For a minute, I thought we were gonna get it again. So yeah,
It turns out not racing at all was probably the good thing.
yeah, yeah. At least Lando would have won. um, yeah. How long was the delay in the end? Like what, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
About that.
I'm waiting for the scooter to go fast. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was about an hour 15, I think, something like that.
Okay. Well,
It wasn't too bad, but
no. That
what come after it was.
not ideal. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
okay,
was.
so Oscar got Lando on lap one, and Lewis decided to go on an absolute charge.
Yeah, without that, this race was mudded.
Yeah. Also, for once, Ferrari got their pitch strategy right because Lewis emerged in seventh.
Yeah.
So well done, Ferrari. You did good. Keep doing good, and you might actually like stop having your fans be depressed all the time. um, Obviously, the key move was Lando getting squirrely on the exit of La Source and then losing momentum all the way up through the Camel Straight, and Oscar getting past into Les Combes. Um,
Yeah.
I think from there it was pretty much done, wasn't it?
Yeah. If there was. He could have maybe had one lap at having a go at Piastri.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
it. But even then, I still think Oscar held pace.
hmm.
So.
I have to do my due diligence here. Earlier in the season, when was it in this season or last season? Earlier on in the history of this podcast, I have criticised McLaren for putting both of their drivers on the same strategy. I would like to commend them for actually putting Lando on a different set of a different compound of tyre and trying to have a go at something here, even if the only driver
Yeah.
ahead of them was their other car. Um, yeah, it was a in my opinion a good gamble.
Yeah, it's worth the gamble.
So
They had the gap.
it's just Oscar made the mediums last. So
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure about half the grid made the mediums last.
yeah, yeah, it's low key. Part of me was like, are we gonna have another George Russell disqualification
Yeah.
for lack of weight? But no, nothing came out of that. So everyone was clearly hunky dory. Um, Potentially could have been because of the weather conditions, because you're not as because obviously it was a wet race. You're not on full throttle for as long,
Yeah.
so maybe they had more fuel in the car. Who knows? Or maybe because they were coasting it round to try and preserve the tyres, they had more fuel in the car. Who knows? Because the difference between this year and last is that George was being actively hunted down and was having
Yeah.
to drive still quite quickly, whereas Oscar, yes, had to drive relatively quickly, but he had 9 seconds of buffer.
Yeah, he had a nice gap.
Yeah.
To,
So
I'm guessing it when if Lando got within, say, like 3 seconds or something, he
it
might have
would
then.
have been a bit more squeaky bum time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was probably around like 6, 7 most of the time, so it's quite
Lando kept
comfortable.
making a couple of little mistakes. He had that mistake into Puon where he got a bit of a snap and had to run wide. That cost him, I think they said 1.2 seconds.
Yeah,
Then he locked up into La Source, and that cost him another sort of 6/10. And then he locked up into La Source again right at the end of the race, and that cost him another second to 1.2 seconds. So, I mean, if you take those out of his like race time deficit, he would have been a lot closer. But even if he was closer, you've still got to get past him.
yeah, you've seen it with, like, if you looked at Verstappen against Leclerc when it was on inters or whatever, Max was just on the backside of him the whole time, and yet still Leclerc beat him. So
Yeah.
you don't know, do you?
No, exactly. It's one thing to catch up to a driver. It's another thing entirely to actually manage to pass them.
Yeah, it
Which
just
is
cost him a chance.
probably what we'll be saying in 7 days' time.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Well, hopefully the tires can go off.
Well, yeah. I mean, Pirelli did try something a bit different this time with the hard
Yeah.
tire being the C1, and then just ignoring the C2 completely and putting the medium as the C3. So there was an attempt to try and spice things up a little bit. It didn't work.
No.
I think if they're going to do that, they need to almost do the same again with the medium to the soft. So it would be like the C1, the C3, and the C5. So you can
But
go
then
absolutely hell for
the
leather.
soft doesn't really get used anyway,
They
though.
only get used for quali, don't it? So maybe we
Yeah.
need the C1, the C4, and the C5 as the medium and the soft.
Unless you go C2, C4, C5.
Well,
But
that's just
then
the same
everyone
as
would just
C1,
do,
C3, C5, but
yeah,
you know.
just touch harder.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tricky one. But they've tried something. They've lived and learned. The weather conditions probably didn't help with them for that, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Have we got any other point? Oh, I suppose obviously the sprint race. Max Verstappen won the sprint race, so Lauren Mekes got off to a good start in his new tenure as Red Bull Racing's team principal. Yeah, slightly weird seeing him in a Red Bull jacket rather than an Alpha Tauri Toro Rosso slash RB jacket. But you'd live and you'd carry on.
It's back to normal. Verstappen winning a sprint. What a shock.
Yeah. Alan Permain, in his new tenure as Racing Bulls team principal, also got a point on the board in the sprint with Isaac Hadjar. So little bit of a good result there for him. And got another 4 points with Liam Lawson in the Grand Prix. So Hadjar unfortunately finished last and 1 lap down. The only driver to finish a lap down.
Crazy.
All drivers finished. Even in the conditions, all drivers finished.
Well, that's because it dried up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we think? Right, let's discuss the the talking point of the start of the race. What do we think about the decision to give it such a massive delay? We knew that there was a gap in the weather, and we knew that in 15 to 20 minutes' time there was going to be another rain cell approaching.
I think that the cars are an issue and the tires are an issue.
I think.
'Cause every time it rains, they just want to use intermediates all the time.
I think.
Which is part of the issue.
The race director should have mandated the use of the wets. And
Yeah.
I think I agree with Max Verstappen that they should have just kept the cars out there for a couple of laps to see.
And just dry it out, yeah.
Because
and then
nothing clears water like Formula One cars clear water.
And you could it absolutely thundered it down. And it probably would have been a red flag, but at least you would have had
Something.
8 laps or something, yeah.
So the argument there is if they red flagged it because it actually chucked it down, and then they had to leave that red flag out for a while, that we wouldn't have gone full racing distance.
Get rid of the crappy 3-hour rule.
Change it to 4 hours.
Yeah, it would just be like, oh, and
because there's two different clocks, aren't there? There's the 2-hour race clock, which is once the race starts, or while the race is green, you have 2 hours to finish the race, and then there's the 3-hour race window, which is once the race has started, you have 3 hours to finish it, no matter what. So I can kind of see why they wanted to delay it, because with Spa you never really know how heavy that rain is actually going to be. And hindsight is 2020, but that rain cell wasn't that bad. So
well, the first one wasn't. The second one was. They could. Maybe, I don't know. It depends how much the track would dry up before that rain hit.
Yeah, the rain before the race, fine, that was pretty damn heavy. But the one that was sort of like before the formation lap, rather, but the one that was like 15 to 20 minutes after the formation lap occurred, really wasn't actually that bad. So
yeah,
as much as the weather radar suggested it was going to be a mini monsoon, it was not. So yeah, it's a tricky one, and the part of me that works night shifts and woke up for this race was like, get the damn show on the road. The part of me that was also very hungry was loving the delay because I cooked dinner. So
yeah, but I don't. Is it just a Spa thing, or would they red flag that per se for every single other race if it rained like that?
That's a good question. Because everyone says Spa has its own microclimate because of the topography of the region.
Yeah.
So would they red flag it for that sort of rain cell somewhere like Silverstone?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Because we know Silverstone's pretty flat.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
Australia.
Yeah. It's just, especially with the formation lap, it's like apparently you no longer have to start on wets if it's behind the safety car. That is something that the race director can mandate separately to that. So you can start a race behind the safety car, or you can start a race behind the safety car and you must use wet weather tyres. So that was an interesting one for me. The fact that rule has changed.
Yeah, it's still the extreme wets is such a big issue, isn't it? And it has been for some time.
It seems to be the sort of the Achilles heel of the Formula One setup
Yeah.
is the wet weather tyre, because it doesn't seem to matter what we do. We never seem to use them properly.
The only time I can remember it being used properly is when Haas used it at Canada, and it worked for that split
Two
window.
laps. It worked for 2 laps. They got past
And that was
everyone,
it.
and then they cocked up their pit stop and ended up back where they started again. Yeah. If they'd actually pulled out some sub 3 second pit stops, that would have been an absolutely blinding bit of strategy.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's the other example, isn't it? Would they have red flagged it if it was at Canada? And no, they kind of kept
No.
going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Maybe it's a Spa thing
yeah,
with Al Rouge and all of that.
maybe it was
Which
just
makes sense.
the timing of it. They weren't sure how dry the track was going to be before the rain got there, so they'd rather say, if we just wait till it's gone, then we can just do the whole race in one go instead of having this intermission.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you get like they said it was like 15 minutes, so that's like what, 12 laps of racing.
Well, it's near enough
Probably.
2 minute lap, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's probably closer to 10.
Yeah.
So you do 10 laps, which is like a quarter of the race distance, and then you red flag it, so everyone just takes a free pit stop, and then everyone goes out again, and you might not get another pit stop, depending on how it dries out and how the intermediates fade off. Like that one time in Turkey, I know that was a bit different because of the actual track surface, but the old inters were better than new inters.
Yeah, that's funny. That's great.
Yeah, sort of sympathise with the race directors for this one, but also like it's not a great look. The pinnacle of motorsport, and we can't handle a spot of water.
Yeah, but it's also quite funny seeing you get like the GT3 drivers be like, "Hey, we raced in this. Look, you got windscreen wipers, you knobheads."
Yeah, you're not in an open wheel, open cockpit.
Yeah.
So, see how you have headlights on your car?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know they've obviously tried stuff with this generation of Formula One car with like the wheel covers and all of that. It's still not really worked. So
No. Sod it. Let's do predictions. So Chris submitted his late, so he suffered the half points penalty. Because he submitted his after the sprint quali had come in, so he did not provide a sprint prediction, which is good because I'd have ducked him for that anyway. Ben, you said that Russell would win the sprint. He did not. I said that Norris would win the sprint. He did not.
he didn't.
Pole position. You and Chris both said that Piastri would get pole. I said that Norris would get pole.
Thank you, Chris.
Big ups.
You can put your predictions in late and still fucking jinx it.
And then you said Piastri, Norris, Russell for the podium. Chris said Piastri, Norris, Verstappen for the podium. And I said Norris, Piastri, Verstappen for the podium. So Ben and Chris get 6 points, but Chris gets his docked to 3. And then I got 3 points. And then Sonia gets 4 points because I forgot to ask her. So that's on me. So the standings are Mel's on 26, Chris is on 33, I'm on 41, Ben's on 46, and Sonia's on 47.
Oh,
So it's very close at the top here. Bold predictions. Ben, you've actually forgot to submit one of these.
Yeah, I purposely didn't submit one.
Oh, fair
I was
enough.
like, I can't be bothered to think of one.
That's
I'm
valid.
leaving that.
Well, mine was up shit creek. I saw the weather forecast and I was like, you know what? We're gonna do something a bit different. So I said, all races full points.
Yeah.
Formula 3. God damn it.
Going in.
They did like 2 laps behind the safety car and were like,
Oh,
sold.
oh, Jesus. Yeah.
But to be fair, having seen the conditions before the first red flag, that actually needed a red flag.
Yeah.
There were drivers all over the show. So, how do you fucking get to live timing on here these days? Ah, here we go. Replay. I'm trying to remember who got lapped because I forgot to write it down. I know it was late. You and Chris both said Colapinto. Ben, you said lap 35. Chris said lap 30, and both to finish a lap down. I opted for Hate Watch. So I said Esteban Ocon. I said lap 40, though. Because it's such a long lap. I always feel like the laps come quite late. And it was, to be fair, quite late. But I can't remember
I've just worked on the F3 highlights and seen someone get rear-ended on the formation lap.
Yep.
Did he re-hit him when turning around?
No. He just drove past him.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. So it is Isaac Hadjar was the first driver to be lapped on lap 39 and he finished 1 lap down. He was the only driver to finish a lap down this time out. So
That's like the first time this season.
I'm not sure. He's definitely up there in my estimations for rookie of the season.
Yeah, but especially after considering he crashed in the formation lap of Australia, you're thinking, oh god.
Yeah, from setting his expectations on the floor, to then having a considerably decent run of form, giving it to Yuki in the opening couple of races, and then proceeding to serve it to Lawson for the remainder
and
of
Lewis
the
at times.
Oh, yeah, true. He has been up there and fighting with Lewis. That is how well he has been doing.
Yeah.
In combination of how bad Lewis has been doing in this.
He got driver of the day.
He did. I think that was valid this time out. You know, a lot of the time when you see driver of the day and it's like somebody that started 5th and finished 5th, and you're like, why?
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice recovery from him. So
well, I mean, he went
from
the
P7.
pit lane to P7.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. It was a hell of an opening stint. He probably provided us the most on-track action of any driver this weekend. And then just an excellently timed call by the team to pit meant that he jumped so many people. So yeah, no, fair play. That is in my opinion, a well-deserved driver of the day.
Enjoy them 6 points.
You're such a little shit. Sorry, yes, back to bold predictions. Chris said Sauber Q3, and Gabriel Bortoletto completed that. Right, Formula 2 and Formula 3.
Oh,
Now,
how's the boy getting on?
we didn't cover this last time, and we still haven't technically covered this from ages ago. So I'll just give you the rundown. Silverstone. Victor Martins put it on pole. The sprint race. Leonardo Fornaroli won the sprint race, ruining his year's end streak of not winning a
That's
race.
oh,
With Sebastian Montoya in second and Roman Stanek in third. The feature race was won by Jack Crawford ahead of Alex Dunn and Luke Browning. This time out, quali. Alex Dunn put it on pole ahead of Rotoma Miata and Roman Stanek. Alex Dunn was 4/10 clear of the next car, which is pretty nuts. Sprint race. Leonardo Fornaroli goes back to
back to back, baby. That's our man.
He's
What a boy.
ruined it, man. He's ruined
Yeah, I know he's ruined the race win, but let's just cheer him on for
Yeah,
now
I know.
on. He's a
I
boy.
still kind of want to see him go back to back on the championships.
Yeah.
Victor Martins was in second in the sprint, and Gabriele Mini was third in the feature race. Hang on a minute. I thought. Have I missed a piece of news? Oh,
What?
yeah.
You missed
Wow,
it.
I've
Dunn
missed
got
a lot of.
disqualified.
Yeah. So Dunn was given a 10-second penalty. And Arvid Lindblad was disqualified, and they finished 1 and 2 on the road.
Jesus.
Which means that Roman Stanek is promoted to the race win, with Rotoma Miata promoted to second and Luke Browning promoted to third. Alex Dunn was demoted all the way down to 9th. So for the championship leader, that's quite a hit. It wasn't the championship leader, sorry, championship contender. Yeah, that put a bit of a stunt in it. He probably would have been championship leader were it not for that. Ouch. Plus 23 to that is 27. Yeah, he would have been championship leader had he not been penalised.
Jesus.
As it stands, he's in fourth.
Who is the championship leader?
Leonardo Fornaroli takes the
what
lead
a
of
boy.
the championship on 125
What a boy.
points. Ahead of Richard Verschoor, who didn't score this week, so he's on 122 still. Jack Crawford did not score this week either, so he remains on 116 points. And Alex Dunn is in fourth on 114, and Luke Browning is in fifth on 113. So that top 5
it's getting close.
Is where it's at.
Oh.
There are 5 more rounds of the championship left. They're back with us again this weekend in Hungary. Then they'll be in Monza, Baku, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Formula 3. Again, we didn't cover this last time, so I'll just very quickly take you through Silverstone. Qualifying. Nikola Tsolov put it on pole by 23 thousandths of a second ahead of Ugo Ugochukwu. Sprint race. Tsanopol Intrapuvazak won the sprint race ahead of Martina Stenshorn and Mari Boyer. And the feature race was won by Mari Boyer ahead of Niall and Leon. Now then, Spa. Quali. Brad Benavides put it on pole ahead of championship leader Rafa Kamara by 1/10 of a second. And then Callum Voisin was third, a further 1/10 of a second behind that. The sprint race was won by Noah Stromsed ahead of Ugo Ugochukwu and Charlie Wirtz. And the feature race, technically was won by Brad Benavides ahead of Rafa Kamara and Callum Voisin. Points, however, not so much. No points were scored. The only points that were given out were the 2 points for pole position to Brad Benavides.
Nice.
Which takes his total for the year to 4.
Okay, you put it on pole. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, man is in
Fair play to
26th
him.
in the standings. Anyway, with the points from the sprint race factored in, Rafa Kamara still leads the championship on 126 points. Nikola Tsolov is in second on 98. Tim Tramnitz is in third on 93. Mary Boyer is in fourth on 85. And Martinez Stenshorn is in fifth on 80. There are only 2 rounds left in this championship, one of which is Hungary this weekend. The other is Monza. This is coming down to the wire now. Rafa Kamara needs one good weekend here to give himself some daylight and some breathing room ahead of Monza. However, if Nikola Tsolov pulls it out of the bag, it could go down to the wire.
Yeah, big weekend.
Yeah, this is one to watch out for. So obviously all 3 Formula are back in action with us at Hungary this weekend. So let's cover off our predictions. Ben, pole position.
Oscar Piastri.
Oh, please. Me and Sonia have both gone for Norris. Mel has gone for George Russell.
Actually, I was about to say something really
nice
stupid.
flavour.
I was going to say, have Mercedes been on pole there 2 years on the trot? But obviously not.
Don't know.
Are they on pole there last year? They definitely were in 2023.
Podium. Mel has gone for Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Lando Norris. Myself and Sonia have both put Norris and Piastri 1-2. I've put Verstappen third. She's put Leclerc third. Ben, who are you going for?
I'm going for Piastri, Norris, Verstappen.
Okay, we haven't had anything from Chris yet, so I'll fill that in due course and probably give him another penalty, because no doubt he'll be late.
Yeah, or we could just put insert Mercedes driver here, insert Hamilton, insert McLaren.
So it's Russell on pole, Russell, Hamilton, Piastri for the podium?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Like that.
Bold prediction. What you got?
Yuki top 7.
Okay. You want to keep the streak going? He has been
he's
doing
getting
better.
no points, baby.
He has been doing better since he's finally received the floor upgrade that Max Verstappen's had for a little while now, and he was he was with that in quali. He was within 0.3 of Max. So
nice.
Hopefully, now that there's a change of... Actually, that's the point. Now that we have the change of leadership at the top, Lauren Mekies has to put his foot down and no longer treat Max as like the prodigal son. He cannot just bend over to Team Verstappen and give in to every whim and whimsy of Jos. He has to treat the team as a team, not as a driver. You know?
Well, at that point, Max might be saying goodbye then.
It's a team sport, which they learnt the hard way last year. It is a team sport. While he might have kept the championship, the team certainly did not. So...
And to be even with a just average car at best, Max will still
Yeah,
outperform it to the nth degree.
exactly. They just need a car that the second driver can also drive.
Yeah,
And would that be a sacrifice to Max? Yes, but would it ultimately
slightly.
benefit the team? Absolutely. Because if you can have
Yeah,
two drivers that can score points, one driver that will outperform whatever vehicle you put him in, and another driver that will just perform to the ability of the car, fine. If that
yeah,
car's ability is a consistent fifth on the road, and your second driver is getting that fifth, and your first driver is dragging that thing onto the
yeah,
podium every week, you're going to be in the fight for the top two of the championship.
yeah.
As it stands, McLaren are more than twice as many points clear of Ferrari. We're just over halfway through the season. So,
You're
yeah.
trying to get 1,000 points. That's what we're going for.
It's on the cards. It's on the cards. So, yeah. I think that's what needs to happen. Anyway, back to bold predictions. Mel has said that Lewis will have another Q1 exit.
Cold. That'd
Cold.
be class.
I have said that Isaac Hadjar will be the highest placed Red Bull driver.
Jesus. Jeez. That's rough.
Last to first. So, hey, look, it's Hungary. We've seen strange things happen. You can have accidents and incidents. You can have shit strategy. You can just get stuck behind someone.
Yeah, and then torpedo turn one.
So, I've just gone for Hadjar to be the highest placed at the end of the race. Lap down showdown. There's like 70 odd laps of this one. I can't remember.
There's exactly 70
There
laps.
you go. Look at that.
Uh,
Who are you going for?
I'm going for Alpine's favourite, Franco Colapinto.
Do you reckon this will be the
I'm
last time
saying-
we see him?
I don't know, but I'm just going to keep putting Colapinto as lap down just in case something happens.
Fair enough.
So I find it'd be funny.
On what lap?
On lap 34.
Okay.
Two laps down.
2 laps down. Okay. Mel has gone for Ollie Behrman on lap 41 to finish 1 lap down. I have gone for Esteban Ocon on lap 35 to finish 2 laps down. We'll bring you Chris's as and when. Probably next week, let's be honest. Also, both of my pens ran out this week, so I'm having to use this cheap shit fucking biro one. This is the quality of pen I normally use, right? A nice
Parker pen.
It is a Parker pen, actually.
Yeah. Someone's doing all right for themselves, aren't they? Eh?
But it ran out. I need to go and buy a new bloody refill. Oh, now it works. I think it'll work for a little bit and then it'll give up again. Yeah, there it goes. So, yeah, I don't know. I need to go and get new refills. Unbelievable, Jeff. I had one, but I managed to drop it at
Parker
work.
pen out.
And now it won't close. Where is it? I'll put it in here somewhere. But the clicker won't actually click on the other one, so it's just stuck open.
That's the whole point of one of them pens is just to keep clicking it all the time.
It's a really nice click. Just give you some ASMR clicking.
You just annoy people just clicking it. It's not coming through.
Damn it! It might come through on the actual recording, probably very quietly. But yeah. So we'll bring you all of our reaction to any news and all of the action from Formula 1, Formula 2 and Formula 3 at the Hungaroring at the same time next week. Until then, thank you for listening and or watching, and goodbye.